Hello guys, welcome back to JDM again. Today we are going to discuss about previous providers and resources. So as we discussed in last video that how to create a EC2 instance with Terraform by providing the resource and provider section. So in extension to that we are discussing in detail about providers and resources. See, why do we need to understand more about providers? Because if you see the public document of Terraform, we have a lot of, just a moment, yeah, if you see here, okay, providers, okay, yeah, if you see providers, there are almost 1061 providers in the Terraform. That's the reason we also need to understand what are the different types of providers, who all are providers available in Terraform registry. Yeah, so as we all know, this depending upon what type of infrastructure that we are launching, we must provide or use appropriate providers, then only the required resources will deploy into the destination. Each and every Terraform provider has its own documentation describing on its resources types and their arguments. As I already conveyed in last video, if you see here, AWS have a lot of services. In each and individual service, again if you click on any EC2, we are having a lot of individual resources inside of EC2 also. The same way I will show you. See, I have clicked on EC2. Under that EC2 I'm having instances, elastic IPs, AMI, key pair, snapshot, volumes. In the same way, if you see the documentation of official Terraform, if you go back, if you go down little bit down under EC2, yes, you can see here AMI, EBS volumes, EC2 availability zones, groups. These all are its individual provided documentation we have very clearly. So by this we can get easily deploy resources in custom way also, right? So generally last video also we discussed, so what is the Terraform init process actually will work. So what is the first command we are running in the Terraform? That is, after writing our code, we are just writing after writing our code, we are just initializing with the help of Terraform init command. If you I will show you what actually will happen if you are trying to execute Terraform init command. Terraform configuration or cloning an existing one from the version control. What is the version control here again? So AWS is also having its version. If you see here 3.42.0, in the same way each and every provider having their version. So latest version available in the Terraform registry Terraform will get the required plugins. So whenever you hit Terraform init command, it used to initialize a working directory containing Terraform configuration files. So we are using, this is the Terraform configuration file where we are having our resources. If you see here, this is our Terraform directory. Under this one we have provider is AWS. Whenever we init, the remaining files is created. In the same way, the init command is always safe to run multiple times to bring the working directory up to date, or you can say like a refreshing up to date with the changes in the configuration. Though subsequent runs may give some errors, this command will never delete your existing configuration or state file. So I will show you. If you click on Terraform under the providers, registry.terraform HashiCorp, under you have AWS and the version. So let me go back to my technical public document provided by Terraform, and I'll click on Azure. Just I'll go to the documentation. In the documentation I'll simply get provider and just copy into same existing file itself. See here, I just save this one now. I have saved now. If I navigate to my command line again, so I am in the same directory. If I do terraform init, it will try to refresh, or it will try to download the plugins from the backend. So we have given provider as a Azure. So now whenever you do init, initialization will happen from the provider. So now it is trying to get the required plugins from the HashiCorp maintained Azure provider. It is downloaded version 2.60 version. This is successfully initialized. If you observe same thing in this, if you go one step back in the providers registry, HashiCorp, again see, now earlier only AWS we have, now Azure ARM we have. This one, this is downloaded to my local. This is the thing happen whenever you are doing Terraform init. It is simply initialize a working directory that contains what are the Terraform configurations files. It will initialize. So in our case we mentioned Azure, so it went and it bring the required plugins to its local directory. I hope this is, and this will clear you what is Terraform init actually. Next, resources. So resources is main important thing. So resources are reference to individual services which the provider has to offer. Assume I am using AWS currently. So if I am using AWS, I have multiple resources. Let us say AWS instance, AWS ALB, IAM user, Azure VM, DigitalOcean. Like this, we are having multiple resources under its own cloud service provider. Resources are the most important element in the Terraform language. Each resource block has described one or more infrastructure objects such as VMs, compute networks, any other storage requirements, whatever we are defining in a resource section. I'll show you. If you see here, resources, even if you see here in Azure they are creating resource group, and as well as network, VNet, we can call it as VNet. In the same way, if you observe in AWS also, we have multiple resources we are providing under the, if you go to the documentation where you can see here example uses, see they are creating AWS VPC. In the same way, if you give here, what will happen? Same, we can create one more under resource, we can give the network to create VPCs. Okay, that also will work actually. Okay, so now one important thing I want to update here, I want to tell here. So one key important thing in the new version, so Terraform 0.13 or later version, Terraform introduces a new hierarchical namespace for providers that allows you to specify HashiCorp maintained providers or community maintained providers as dependencies of a specific module. If you see here, that is what I'm explaining, with the community provider distributed from the other namespaces and Terraform registry from the third-party provider registry. So what is happening here, I hope it will be confusing for you, but it is very important, because if you are using 0.12 or earlier, this will work. I hope I am here in AWS. I will show you the document, Terraform document. So if you see here, what they have mentioned, Terraform 0.12 and earlier, you need to use just simply provider, AWS and region. This will work. But if you are using 0.13 or later version, you need to specify a module called Terraform. Under this Terraform configuration, you need to provide as a required providers. Under that one, you need to provide AWS is your required provider, and then what is the source you are calling this provider, that source you are specifying here. In the same way, you need to mention for Terraform maintaining providers or else non-Terraform maintained providers. You need to mention this. That's what I said. Anyhow, even you are not mentioning the specific required providers in 0.13. For Terraform maintained providers it will work, but what are the Terraform maintained providers? Terraform maintaining providers, AWS, Azure. So you can see in the console that you will understand what are the providers it is maintained by Terraform. So non-HashiCorp maintained, non-HashiCorp is a Terraform is not maintaining. So assume DigitalOcean is not maintained by HashiCorp. So that time, if you are not specifying this attribute, this module here, Terraform required providers, we will get error. Let us see. I will go here. I'll simply search here digital ocean provider. Okay, you can see here DigitalOcean provider. You can see the documentation here. Okay, use provider. So what I will do, I will simply use the provider here. Provider, let us copy provider here. So what I'm doing here, just again I'm just pasting the content of DigitalOcean provider. Okay, so again I'll save this one. I will do init one more time. So let me clear my screen. Again I will do Terraform init. I want to show you the comparison between 0.13 version and 0.12 previous versions. Why? Because many companies you are using older version. So if you want to update, or if you want to update 0.12 to 0.3, you want to 0.13, you need to make sure this is compulsory. You are mentioning the provider, required providers. See here, fail to query available provider packages. So HashiCorp is not maintained. That is the reason it is unable to take the provider of DigitalOcean. So let us go back again. Let us take this Terraform configuration, Terraform module to our template. DigitalOcean. We are mentioning DigitalOcean required providers. Under providers. Who is the provider? DigitalOcean. Under source, what is the source? DigitalOcean/DigitalOcean. So that we are specifying the source from DigitalOcean, not from the HashiCorp. So let us save this again, and I'll go back. Again we will initialize the Terraform. We will see what will happen now. See, now it is installing Terraform DigitalOcean of version 2.8.0. This is how 0.13 and 0.12 actually will work. So make a practice, even you are using a HashiCorp maintained or non-HashiCorp maintained, use a required providers section in your configuration file. Then it will be good practice for you. If you are moving into non-HashiCorp maintained providers also, it will be one good idea for you. See, it is successfully installed now. So I think you got very clear understanding why do we need to use this Terraform required providers. Okay, I hope this is high level overview you got understood. Okay, this is HashiCorp. Even in AWS also, if you see here, we didn't given any required providers even for Azure. If we just executed, we didn't get any error because of it is maintained by HashiCorp. Okay, you don't want to worry about that. Now I have one scenario, so let me explain you. Okay, now I got an opportunity. So if I'm moving to another organization, there is a requirement. Now I'm working in AWS Terraform resources, AWS resources I am creating with the help of Terraform. So I move to another organization after 1 year. So where I need to work Terraform to provision the resources in AWS or Azure or any other resource provider. So for that one, do you need to really run again Terraform? Answer is no, because this, like, the provisioning part almost same for all the providers. all the providers, but the configuration little vary, so that we will show you. So I don't have any Azure subscription. Azure subscription is, I have one that is expired, so that is the reason I am showing you with another provider. As of now, still now we have till AWS. Now we will see how to provision the resources in other provider, that is GitHub, for this session. But anyhow, I will create one more video with AWS, with Azure, in future, that you will understand how that provider will actually will work, and how the resources will create, and how the authentication will happen actually. So working with GitHub providers. So basically, with the help of GitHub provider, we will create a GitHub repository in the my GitLab, my GitHub. So for that one, what is the main required thing? So GitHub provider is used to interact with the GitHub resources. Yes, the provider allows you to manage your organization members, that is like teams, easily. It need to be configured with the proper credentials before it can be used. We need to configure with proper credentials. Like in AWS also, we have first created IAM user access key and secret access key for the authentication. In the same way, to getting the token to authenticate Terraform to connect to the GitHub. So basically, Terraform needs to communicate with the GitHub account to do the required action. So what we are doing, the required action, we are going to create a repository, GitHub repository. So let us copy this file. Let us copy this file and paste here. So I'll rename it. I'll rename this folder to GitHub underscore repo.tf. We need to give the extension. Okay. I think the name is not saved. Just we will do it again. Repo GitHub.repo, right? Okay. GitHub underscore repo dot file. So now our file is saved, GitHub and GitHub repo. Now what we need to do, we will remove this required non-required attributes. Okay, just delete this and all. Okay, even I will delete the provider also. Just now provider, give the provider name as GitHub. Okay, I will go back and I will get the I'll get from the public document itself, required template. Okay. So browse providers. Once you get the providers, just search with, as I mentioned, right, few are verified, few are official, few are community. Okay, HashiCorp platform, which is maintained by, that all you will get here. So I'll just fetch with the GitHub. Okay, so GitHub, it's a verified one. So let us take that one. Okay, now we have GitHub as a provider. Go to the documentation. Anything you are working with the Terraform, we are having a very good documentation from Terraform documentation. Okay, if you see here, provider is GitHub we are giving, and token we need to give here. So let me take this one and clear this. Just give this one. I don't want to mention the owner at the moment. Okay, so now I want to give the token. So this var.github token, that I will show you in upcoming videos how we will call the variable from variable files. So for now we will directly give the authentication code, So I will show you what are the different types of authentications available. Okay. Okay, so let me go back. Let me go back. Token I need to generate. So for this one, what I need to do, I need to log into my GitHub. So let me navigate to my GitHub. Yes, I am in GitHub. So to generate a token, you need to navigate to the settings here. Once you are in the settings page, just go to the developer settings. So once you are navigate to developer settings, just click on the personal access token. Just a moment. Okay, so before that I want to show you one thing here. So now we are in GitHub, right? So let me go back one step back here. I will open multiple tabs. I want to show you something, why we need to get the access token for this one. So if I go back here, if I click on Terraform registry, browse providers. Okay, so if you see AWS I opened and Kubernetes I opened here. I have opened Kubernetes here. If you go to the documentation of Kubernetes, you can see the provider and configuration path .kube.config. Here you are having the authentication. Authentication is under your kube config file, right? And if you see the Ansible, AWS, you will we are directly calling with the help of AWS access key and secret access key, or else we are having other options also, environment variables or shared environment configuration files. In the same way, if you observe for the GitHub, we are passing the access key. I mean, a token we are passing here for the provider. So how to create the provider token? Just navigate here, click on the settings. Once you navigate to the settings, you just click on the personal access token, right? Now generate new token. Just we will give the token name as simply Terraform. So we will give repo. Just click on, just press Ctrl F and give the repo. And whatever the repo actions is there, just use that as a repo. Like delete repo, you can choose this one and generate token. So my token is ready now. So I have copied my token. Now I need to navigate to my here. I copied the token here. Okay, so now provider we given, token also we given, and so we need to make, we will use the Terraform this entire block here. Why? Because we need to make a practice of using Terraform resource provider in the future sessions also. So we will make practice from here itself. So that is the thing we need to give. So now what we need to create here? So our main agenda is provider is GitHub, token we are passing, just authentication only we are giving. Now what we need to do? We need to create a repository. So how to create a repository? Just click on the resources in the left hand side, just navigate down and scroll it down to here. You will find GitHub repository section. If you navigate there, okay, you can see here, this is the sample template to create a resource in the GitHub. So what is the resource we are creating here? We are creating a repository, GitHub repository. We given GitHub repository the actual resource we are creating, we are calling, and the name is example, let it be, this is the local name to remember Terraform, and the name is important or not, we will verify. What are the things required? Attribute reference, left, see, argument reference, see, name is required. So this name is required to create a a repository. So what we will do, we'll simply just give JDME Terraform is a repository. So description, I can go and I'll give my Terraform repo from TF, my GitHub repo, Terraform repo from Terraform templates. Okay, so visibility I need to make private, not a public one. So now template section. So template is required or not, we will verify from the argument reference. If you simply, yes, you can see here template is optional. So let us go here and delete this template one. So I have deleted template argument now. Okay, so now what I will do, I'll just save this. I'll just save this and I'll come back here. And I'll clear, and I will show you the file which is created by GitHub repo. So now what I will do, just if I do Terraform plan, it will show duplicate required providers. Okay, to a module have. Now you can see the initialization process is successfully completed. Earlier we are getting the error is there was a duplicate provider, so required providers. So we are doing initialization in the same folder. So already we provided required providers, and the same folder we are again doing required providers. Earlier there was some digital version we have done, right? That is the reason we are getting. So now it is clear. Now GitLab repository is initialization is done. Terraform successfully initialized. I hope you are clear with Terraform initialization. Now what we need to do, just clear it and Terraform plan. Okay, if you see here the refresh also is taken. Why? Because in this folder I am having my first underscore EC2 instance.tf, that is also having the state of the refresh. So it is just bring that verified the state, and in for this scenario we need, like, it is adding GitHub repository adding, and the name is example for local name. If you see the actual name, JDME Terraform repo. So go ahead and do apply Terraform apply. Now we have passed the Terraform apply command over here. If you can see here, again it will just refresh the state of the existing .tf files always, and you need to pass yes command here. Once you pass the yes command here, you will able to see what is going to create. One to add. What is going to add? GitHub repository going to add with the name of this one. GitHub repository creation is done. So we will verify the same thing in the my GitHub repository. If I go and verify if the things works perfectly fine. See, if you see, this is the private one, and as well as JDME Terraform underscore repository. So my repository also created with the Terraform. So I hope you understand what we have discussed. So just to recall, we have just covered what are the providers and what are the multiple providers, how we will authenticate it, and what are the resources under the each and every provider. We have understood that one. And what is the key important thing for today's one is you need to maintain, you need to specify the required providers if it is provided by maintained by HashiCorp or non-HashiCorp. And second thing is how to work with other GitHub other providers, either it may be GitHub or Azure. Okay, that is the high level overview I have given to you. I hope this helps you to understood and provision the multiple providers. Thank you.